Hi! Thrifty Thursday today, and here we are in the co-op again. Just having a look at what's reduced, and I'm quite pleased. Well, actually quite a lot today. I think what I'll do is make a big soup with this. I'll show you what I'm going to do later, but this, I like making soups from chicken, so we'll take that. Let's go and have a look at the veg. Right. Okay. Alright, veg time. Okay, I think right, there's some nice little mushrooms there. So they'll be quite nice and just whole actually. So we'll grab them. Anything else? No, not just now. So far we've got 74p and £5.66 for the chicken, but that's going to do us a good 2 or 3 meals. Let's go around and have a look around here. So I want to get some leeks. I only need one. So £1.35 for 3, which I don't actually need, and they're in plastic, or one decent one. It's quite a good one. So looking at price per kilo, £2.75 a kilo. This one £3.38 a kilo. Okay, it's always worth looking at that. Whatever you're buying, everything has it. Dog food, anything. So that's the one to go for. Okay, here's the sort of dairy bit and sort of pizzas and stuff like that. Okay. This is what I really want. This is what I really want, is that.
Yeah.
I could eat that.
Is that part of your
No,
control
not allowed that. So I have to put that back. And I'd love to have haggis pakora as well. Oh, I might have to get that for Alan. I'll get that for him. I'm going to have to sniff it. It's going to be difficult. So, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm trying to get rid of my menopausal tummy, so I need to be very careful what I'm cooking. So, unfortunately, chocolate trifle isn't in it. Let's go. Hiya! Right, that's us back from the co-op, and I'm going to make a sort of a soupy chickeny thing. It's something that I like to make, and we often make it in the woods because you can just bung everything in a pot and let it do its thing. Now, I have in the past used the whole chicken, but I'm going to take the chicken breasts off because it's valuable meat, and I'll be making something else with that. So, as you saw earlier, we got this chicken from the co-op. I can't actually see how much it was, £7 something before. It's £5.66. It's going to run out today, which is fine. It's garlic and herb. We've had this before. It's really tasty, and it's spatchcocked, which means it's been flattened like this. It's been cut and flattened, and that means you can cook it in much less time, nearly half actually. It's only an hour to cook this in the oven. Personally, I like to turn it into soup. I'm not a massive fan of chicken like that. I think it dries it out a little bit. We don't have a microwave. I used to have a microwave, and I did cook my whole chicken in a microwave. A lot of people have gone, what? But it actually works really well. It stays juicy and moist, and it's absolutely delicious. So I try not to cook my chicken in the oven now, not having a microwave. So the spatchcock chicken is like this. It's flattened, and I'm going to take the breast meat off just now. So basically, cut it down the middle like that. It's kind of fiddly. I wouldn't worry too much about it. It's not going to be a perfect cut, and we'll just take off what we can. So it's quite difficult with this. Probably need a cleaver actually. Right, I'll cut that. This bit's much bigger than the other side actually. So what I'm going to put in the pot is just the legs, well, everything else basically, and I'll be making a stock that's very blunt. Hopeless. Yep, that's the one. This might not even be any better. Let's see. Alan, we need your sharpening skills.
Yeah, I think we should do a video about sharpening knives.
Yeah, I think so too, because look at that, I can't even get it through there.
Do you want an axe?
I think, you know what might be good actually?
No.
I use scissors quite a lot. I've washed my hands, so I'm going to do this. So, as I said, it doesn't need to be too precise. Yeah, that's better. Just cut it through. You can't see what's in there. We've got bone and cartilage. So yeah, this one's smaller. Alright. Just take that off. There's a bit of bone in there. I wouldn't normally cut the bone with it, but it's okay. I'll debone it properly later. We'll take them away. In the meantime, I've got a pot boiling with some water. I filled it about halfway. Sorry, you know I don't do measurements, but I put the juice from the chicken in there already that was in the dish. So now, also because it's spatchcocked and I've halved it, it doesn't take up so much space, so it's going to cook more evenly. So we'll put that in. 1, 2. Okay. Right. I'll put a lid on that in a minute and we'll let that boil. Again, I don't know the times. It's probably going to be about 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Put a lid on it and keep checking it. You can tell chicken is cooked because the legs take the longest to cook. So just keep checking that the meat is cooked through. The meat must be cooked through. This is very important with chicken. Chicken is risky, okay, so be very, very careful. Well, that's that. I'm going to assemble the rest after. I'm going to make sure this board is really, really well cleaned with detergent. Very important again. I've got some leeks, some carrots, and this is the little mushrooms that we got that were reduced today. And when this is ready, I'll show you how I'm going to take the chicken out and debone it and what I'm going to do afterwards. Okay, see you soon. Okay, here we are back again. It took about 40 minutes for the chicken to cook in there. What I ended up doing actually was putting in the chicken breast as well, because the chicken was going to be out of date tomorrow. I had to cook it today, so I thought the best way to cook it is to cook it in there, and again it stays nice and juicy. So I took out each bit separately with a fork and I put them on the chopping board here, and I just used a small knife and a fork to take all the meat off, and I put all the there's a bit of bone, so you've got to be careful. I put the rest of the bones in the recycling. So just be very careful that there's no bones in it. I thought I had taken them all out. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is put in the veg. Some people like to cook their veg first. I just do it the simplest way possible. So opening the pot, got our leeks here. Well, it's one whole leek, one's plenty. Leek here. And I've actually cut up half a courgette as well, because any veg you can put in is great for you. It's really healthy. So carrots and courgettes. We've got our mushrooms. Just looking at mushrooms, I'm sure you know this already, but you're not meant to clean mushrooms with water. So I'm just putting them in whole, by the way, because they're cute little ones. Just check that they're clean. There's no earth on them, because obviously that's where they grow, in the earth. So don't clean them with water, just give them a wee wipe. They're not bad, and they're from a supermarket, so quite often they're okay. We're probably going to end up growing our own mushrooms in our woods at some point anyway. So yeah, let's see. That's probably enough. There's a tiny one, it's quite dirty. Put that one later. Okay, so we'll stir that up. It's still really hot, the stock. I meant to say earlier, put the chicken in when it's boiling hot. Don't boil it though, just simmer it quite well, but not to a boil, because that's not good for the meat. So keep it on. Oh my goodness!
Oh God!
What was that?
I don't know, it was just barked.
It gave me such a fright. Right, back again. Wilson gave me a big fright there. Yeah, so don't boil, but on a good simmer. And then I'm going to put in tons of spinach. I put spinach in most things, not everything, but most things. It's so good for you. Now I'm going to grab, I like my salt, like sea salt. That's not sea salt, that's the pink pink salt there. So I'm just going to put a good handful in. It's not ground, it's still in that form. So good handful in there. Stir it round. Put the chicken back. It's quite a lot of chicken. I'm not going to put all the chicken in because it's too much. We don't need all that. So I'm going to put some in, and we'll keep the rest for our tea tomorrow. Okay, that's quite a good amount. Bit of skin there. Dogs will get that. Yeah. Maybe put a wee bit more in. I'll make a curry or some kind of tomato-based sauce or something with that tomorrow. Okay, so that's all in, and the last thing I'm putting in is some rice, or you can put in barley. Now, a word of warning, don't put too much rice in, as tempting as it is. I'm only going to put about that much in because it keeps expanding, and by the time you get it tomorrow or the day after, it'll be a big gloopy mess like porridge. So not too much, as tempting as it is. That looks lovely. I've got some mushrooms bobbing about. This is sort of like what do you call it? Cockleeky soup, which is a very Scottish dish. I'll make a cockleeky soup one day, but I'm not going to put in prunes, and prunes are what you traditionally put in there. Alan doesn't like the prunes in it, so I'm not going to do that today, and I can't actually find them. So that's what you would normally put in. So we'll do a cockleeky soup one day. I'm not going to show you the rest of the process, simply because it's just a question of time. Keep tasting it, keep testing it. I'll put some pepper in as well. You can put garlic in, whatever you like. I quite like it, just nice, plain and simple. It's a chicken-based vegetable soup. It's delicious. And I'll probably maybe half an hour or so. And a nice crusty loaf or a baguette with some delicious butter, which I'm not going to have, because like I told you earlier, I'm on this mission quest to be healthier and to lose a bit of weight, so I'm not going to do that. So that's it, simple as, and I hope you enjoy it. We'll put a picture of the finished article at the end, and just experiment. Don't be worried, don't be scared, just go for it. We would very much appreciate if you could like and subscribe. We would really be grateful for that, and we'll see you again soon. Bye!